They have any free time, he doesn't stand off and do his own thing and attend to his own matters, even though he's without a professional contract at this point, expected to get one. It's a matter of which team, NBA team, he'll fit in. Apparently there's some interest from the Miami Heat. Blatch apparently does not want to go back to Brooklyn. And as we see Chud Reyes with his assistant, his son Josh Reyes to the left of your screen. And this is an interesting group. This is a group that is a mixture of technical knowledge and broad technical knowledge and tremendous motivation. So you can see that little heart over the Puso, over Reyes' shirt. And Jake Saar, we've talked about how he keeps the team steady. This team doesn't get overly excited. When they actually made it to the second round with that winner, basically secured it, they weren't overly excited. They weren't celebrating.
No, I think the interesting thing about this this group, and Coach Reyes has been very hard on himself when he's been interviewed after games, and the fact that he's lost so many close games will really hurt him personally, because you know he's managing a lot of resources. They've put a lot of time into this program. He wears his heart on his sleeve, as do the whole team. So he's taken this program a long, long way. They're on a journey here. Now that's a much overused phrase, but they'll be coming back next year. They'll have a FIBA Asia tournament they'll want to do well in, and you know he started a process here that this Filipino lineup is going to actually keep moving forward. You know, they've got a nice balance. Some of the older guys will leave, but as we saw in the Asia Cup, there are plenty of replacements waiting to play.
Dye will jump with Aguilar, and Senegal in white takes control. This is such a clash of styles and personnel, and every game Philippines plays, a game I want to watch. Here comes Doy. Normally never takes many shots. Here she takes the first shot and makes it.
This, I was going to say before the game that the key for Senegal is to be very precise. They don't have to take chances feeding the post. They just have to be very precise, pass the ball away from the defense, and they will be able to get it inside against this smaller Philippines lineup. And you know the Philippines are going to harass, rush, try and get over those bodies and get hands involved.
The young Japeth Aguilar needs to learn a few histrionics. He tipped the ball out of bounds. It looked like it went out of his hands, 24-year-old. But the referee called it the other way, and he started celebrating. You need to have that malice. You need to have that little sense of, well, if he didn't see it, then it didn't happen.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of people he can learn from at this tournament. Just looked like it should be yours.
Blatch, bad pass, back into his hands though. Chan. 5 to shoot. Blatch realizes now. Drives. Oh, it's 2 points. 2 points, says Rocha. It's a goaltend by Deng, and Deng just cannot believe the call. Look at his face.
I don't think, well, I know the replay is going to come here. I actually thought Deng knocked it onto the backboard. It still may have already been on the way down. Let's have a look. No, off the glass. Great call by the official. That's why they're here at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. They're far better at refereeing than me.
And a great shot by the production crew.
Absolutely.
Dalmeida, who must be exhausted. He's been playing hard all week long, seemingly more minutes each game than last. And the ball is tipped out of bounds. It belongs to the Philippines.
And there's an exact situation there where even though it was Andre Blatch, the pass to the post was there. They just threw it in a little soft, threw it in a little sloppy, far too close to the defense.
Aguilar loses the handle. He can't against Yang, and the rebound is by Dye. John Dalmeida, one of the vets, played in the Africa basket where this team ended up third. 5 offline. Blatch takes a rebound, looking for another double-double. Leads the tournament. Leads all 24 teams with individual double-double games. Off Chang's knee, and now it's Senegal's ball.
The Philippines have to be very selective about when they actually look to make passes to the inside when they attack the ring. They've got to move the defense first. They're going to be queuing up to challenge shots, and Blatch is probably the only one with the physicality, you know, to get shots away in there, but they've got to move. And Senegal are a little prone to standing after 3 or 4 passes.
Everybody seems to not have quite yet broken a sweat in this game. Blatch overplays the defense, but back in the hands of 5. They look for the alley-oop. Deng ran out of time. Ran out of time.
Blatch did a great job not worrying about the mistake, got him back, and he challenged the shot, which forced Deng to make a second move. Called for 24 seconds. that's one of the things about Andre Black. He'll do the things that everybody has to do. He just works hard for this group.
He was asked to do that in the NBA. Oh, he now loses the handle. He's averaging 5 turnovers per game. Tenorio to the rim. No good. Rebounded by Hamadi Ndiaye, also playing with a bit of the after effect of a sore back. 5 games in 6 days won't make it any better. So I see Senegal right now playing at a pace that's unlike them.
Right, it's all a little bit too similar as they get the tip. A little bit too similar to the pace of yesterday's game, where Argentina just gave them, well, they beat them like a drum, basically, in every aspect of the game. So now it's just you want to see them just get a little bit more active. And there you go, get a blocked shot. And even Blatch, who will pat on the head to say, yeah, you got me. Blatch hasn't had that happen to him in this tournament. That's what this Senegalese defense can do.
A little charge now, and now we see the backache, but it's Yang who reaches for his lower back.
Well, Deng, you know, I like the fact he stood and took it, because he got caught yesterday for a couple of little weak fouls, really, on Scholar penetrations, but that time just stood his ground, took the charge.
Yeah, the game above the rim, which is something that Senegal can do, with about 4 of its 5 players on the court. Very little scoring in this game. Flash, double team. Dalmeida, open 3, it's short, and it's rebounded by Jeffrey Chan. Cross court to Tenorio. Oh, they're getting Tenorio some liberties here, and he takes advantage of it. Hey, you're not going to guard me, I'm going.
Absolutely, and then there's that selection if you want, because the defense was standing around, and he just got into a nice little hole, little short jump shot.
Tenorio had a little incident with Papanikolaou of Greece, and a foul by Pingris, and Tenorio's upset, and wow, Rocha gave him a warning. It's Pingris' first foul. Mark is playing with a sore ankle, and may not notice, but another shove. This is getting feisty here. Fai and Pingris.
Part of the problem here is that Dalmeida's pass was just not great. He gave Pingris a chance to go after it. Better post entry that time.
Oh, another pop. A slap by Blatch. The ball's on the floor. And we have a jump ball. And it belongs to the Philippines. The possession arrow favors the Philippines. So there's Mark Pingris doing what Mark Pingris does best. And
the surprising thing is that there's this little bit of feeling going on, but it's not really reflected in the tempo and the pace of the game. Neither team, if either of these teams had come out and played at that tempo that they've been more effective at, they could have been 8-9 points up at this point.
Instead, you've only had 8 points scored halfway through the first, combined. Chan inside the circle, trying to get himself on track.
That's exactly what we were referring to earlier on. You've got to chase this Philippines team off the three-point line if you're Senegal, in the full knowledge that you have so much help under the ring.
Dalmeida had a shot, passed it up. Fai, no good, rebounded by Dalmeida. Fai now throws a 3, and it's good. Now Senegal takes the lead. And
I'd say the same thing the other way as well. You've got to pressure, and they will make mistakes if you take them out of their rhythm.
Tenorio, talk about rhythm now. Here we go.
Tenorio, as we said, is probably having his best scoring international tournament.
Someone took the plexiglass off the rims. Aguilar just parked in the middle of the lane.
That's a shove. Pingris maybe overreacting, should we say. It's 2 unnecessary fouls.
Second foul. And Norwood comes in, normally the starter. He comes in for Pingris.
Much better balance to the lineup with Norwood, because he is much more of he's a slasher. He can score, even though he's known for his defense. Good slasher, as we saw in the Argentinian game, where he just gave us some real highlights.
Malay Ndiaye. Turnaround shot. Chan almost, I think, touched the ball on the way up.
Got a piece on the way up.
Yep. Tenorio.
can't understand Senegal's
Oh,
approach.
look at that, up and under. Here comes Aguilar, yes! I love to see guards with low post moves. It makes the bigs so nervous.
Absolutely.
And they typically overreact.
Well, and they got big help there. This is how Aguilar got the rebound because no one helped the helper.
Steal, Norwood. Over to Blatch. He lines up a three. Rebounded by 5. He's giving Dalmeida a little breather, bringing the ball up court. Off the curl, off the screen by Dye. Rebounded by Blatch. Apparently, back to the Philippines. I thought that Blatch was the last one to touch it.
No, well, Blatch definitely had it, but I think in the contest for the glass, I think he's just got knocked away. It's a beautiful little move, but there's the worry. And the good thing, if you select when to go and you draw a help, if there's no help rotation, someone's got a chance to get on the glass, which is what Aguilar did then. The signs aren't good. I just don't think that teams can start this placid in the way Senegal have, and then decide to pick it up halfway through. That they haven't shown they're that type of team.
Tenorio, turn on shot, no good. Here comes Dalmeida, chased by Norwood. By the way, Deng has not been able to establish himself in the post. Faye with a three-pointer.
Well, Coach Reyes tells Blatch, he's the guy that we talked about. He's the guy that can shoot, because he just looked to them and Faye just lined it up with his feet set.
Deng is just patrolling the paint. Steps.
Travel, yeah.
He can make that move as he's moving on the court, and then to stop and make a low post move, no.
No, it's not helped obviously by the fact he's got to worry for the first time in this tournament. He's going to have to worry about who's going to come over and help in terms of will he get blocked, will he not. And one of the the great stats for Senegal is that they don't give up a lot of free throws because they challenge. There's a little bit of fear as you go. They don't have to foul, and they're trying to block shots, but they're trying to block shots with athleticism. So it's a tough ask on the inside against them.
Dalmeida.
Oh, Dye needs the ball. When he just shows to the ball after the reaction to the screen, he needs it.
But you know what they do very well? As there's a foul on Aguilar, I think the Philippines understand that Senegal, their strength is not passing the ball, especially entry passes into the post.
Absolutely.
So what they're doing is they have smaller players. They just front the offensive player and dare the passer. Okay, try it. I know you have no confidence, and with me between you and your teammate, even less. Try it.
Yeah.
The key, though, if they do launch that pass, is that the other defensive teammate rotates quickly.
Well, they have to do that, and in the situation they're in now, they have to be very active then, because they can't just stand. The guy coming to help should almost go after it and try and play below the hip, try and actually get a hand on it. For one of the few occasions in the tournament now, we've got Fajardo and Blatch in the game together. Obviously, we know why, because of the size and the way that Senegal play. But this will be really interesting. I think the Philippines could have used this, and in the future may have a great option to use this, because I think he'll be a tough ask, Fajardo, for the Senegalese to guard. He just is that type of player who's very, very difficult to match up on.
Blatch to the corner. Oh, they had Fajardo all alone. Turnaround jump shot. It's good.
Why would you pass it to someone 2 feet from the hoop when you can take 6 dribbles, spin on the spot, and nail a tough jump shot?
And by the way, and jump off the floor.
Absolutely, yeah.
Quite the athlete. This is your dream, huh?
Well,
You've been talking about it all week.
I know.
Fajardo and Blatch together.
It'll be interesting, this.
Offensive foul. Hamad Dye with the push-off. That's his first.
The way they lined up then with Blatch literally running a more typical international 4 spot, as we see the layout, the guard, who really did do a good job by getting underneath that screen as they rolled. Blatch will run a little bit more perimeter here. Be interesting to see how that gives Senegal a problem, because Blatch is a good shooter.
Chan fake, loses the handle.
It's not where to go. It's a very dark place. There's a lot of tall people that just close out light as you pick it up.
Faye facing the basket. It's in. He leads Senegal with 11 of 14 points.
A lot of wide open perimeter looks for him.
Banging, but here's Ndai on the weak side. Chan, open three, way off. Here's Fajardo. Oh, contact. Dalmeida.
Welcome to Senegal on that play for Fajardo.
Inside, Ndai, easy. Alley-oop.
Beautiful touch on that pass, because Dane was trying to post, so they had to guard him, so he just floated over the pair of them, and then Ndai gets it. I just wish Senegal would try and play that more up-tempo style. It's got to start with their defense, but they've got so many people who can run and be so effective in that type of game.
But shouldn't the Philippines be getting into some early offense too?
Well, we think they're better that way. I think the reason they lost that crucial game yesterday is they slowed up.
And Puerto Rico started guarding them off the inbounds and making them make the first pass 7-10 seconds into the possession. And
there's the good double team. Tenaro's going after the ball. That's exactly what he needs to do. Then he got to rotate.
5 misses. The ball's in the hands of Dango.
Well, Fajardo's got to just compete a little better than that. He had the chance to pull that one in.
Less than a second between clocks.
I know they're doing this because of the end of the game. I just don't. Senegal aren't great when they run this sort of style of game. Yeah.
Almeida, low pass. Here comes Dieng for the 3. And there's a whistle and a foul on Tenorio.
Now, Tenorio did a reasonable job at scrambling around. He's just going to show that control, then contest it. If he makes it, he makes it. You don't send him to the free throw line.
Oh, he could have avoided that one.
Yeah, that's a cheap one too. Yeah. He's in the air, he bumped him while he was in the air. It's going to cost him, well, it could cost him 3 points. And what was, double the lead on this play. And Campo's has been one of the really consistent players for the Philippines in this tournament. He gets his first action with, obviously he'll play the second quarter, but with just 2 seconds to go.
He started yesterday, played most of the game with Puerto Rico. I mean, Tenorio played well in that game on offense, but he had to guard Barea, so there's no shame in trying to guard Barea and not doing well, because you simply add your name to a list of very talented and outstanding players.
Yeah, Barrera's been able to score on almost anybody, because he can score. He's got lots of ways to hurt you.
Dieng with 2.4 seconds to go. Makes the second one.
Doubles the lead.
Bali launches from half court, and the first quarter is over. It is a 6-point Senegalese lead over the Philippines, 19-13. We'll be back with the second quarter here at the Palacio Municipal de Deportes in Seville.
Well, Senegal, as we take a look at the statistics, 43 and 50%. The percentages are good in that sense. They've shot the 3 ball really well. They've been wide open when they do it. Philippines haven't been to the free throw line. That's not a surprise when we looked at the stats beforehand. They just don't foul people when they're in the act of shooting. The Philippines just need to shoot the 3 better. They've got the people who can do it, but they've got to move the ball to do it.
0 assists for the Philippines.
Yeah.
And 4 turnovers.
And Ndoye, as you said in commentary, normally gets the first look at the basket, then goes quiet. But this is where, with a little bit of patience, with a little bit of precision on the pass, Senegal could really, at will, get the ball into areas of the floor where they have an advantage. And then it's just up to how Philippines decide to guard that.
But one of the lessons that Chat Reyes and his staff must have learned from the Senegal game against Argentina is when you don't have the above-the-rim athletes on your team, you have to box out. You have to at least account body on body a player to give yourself a chance to get more rebounds.
Regardless of whether you are a great athlete or not, the ideal combination, the great athlete who boxes out. If you've got that, you've got a great rebounding number. But I think the Philippines, if they get into that stage where they just run and share it and shoot it without any change to the tempo, don't bring it out and then reset it. When they reset it, they tend to stand still. Senegal a little similar, but they just don't have the foot speed down the floor. It's a real, I don't know. So Chet Reyes has to pick his poison here. How is he going to play that pass to the inside? And you made a great point that they're not a great passing team, Senegal. So how is he going to structure his defense to get people into passing lanes. Is he going to have people shoot those from off the ball? Is he going to try and front? If he fronts, he's got to make sure his rotation is right. It's a real coaching challenge for Reyes with the bodies that he has compared to Senegal.
Alapag's in, along with Paul Lee. They're playing a zone now, 2-1-2 zone.
And that's a good call to go to the zone, as long as they really do bump and match up. One on the ball and everyone else really rotates. Great hands.
Alapag.
I don't think they realized about the Kraken's arms on that one. Gets a piece of that and deflected it.
Inside, Norwood outside. Inside to Del Campo, who wasn't quite ready. And we have a player just dropping to the ground. Yang. He just fell.
I'm not really sure what happened because Alapag...
Yeah, he just fell. He got hit.
Del Campo's holding his head as though something happened to him.
Yeah, they must have knocked heads. Here we go. Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Oh.
Okay, tell you, you've said it already. Camera right on the spot in terms of seeing that. Deng has... well, he looked like he went down he looked like a heavyweight fighter who's gone down, and he's a little bit listless on the floor.
We saw he have a cut on Randy Del Campos. There's blood on the floor.
Yeah.
I tell you, we saw Alor Lafayette, the American, now has been a naturalized Croatian, one of their point guards, fall awkwardly to the ground, and at the end his head snapped into the floor. Yeah. And he was literally out cold for a few seconds.
Very groggy.
And I see Yang right now getting up. Be interesting to see how he plays. Oh, look at that. Yang coming up to the Campo saying no harm meant. You gotta love that.
Well, and you know, Dieng looks fine. You know, I'm always inclined in this situation for someone to take him out of the game and just check. Oh, the head went back as well. I'm always inclined to say take him out, which you've got to do anyway because the trainer's come on. Check him out. You know, there's various little tests you can do around concussion and stuff like that. Yeah, because
wow, they look like rams fighting over.
And Del Campo had a little bit of a better position, obviously not trying to have the position. He had more of an angle that his head didn't go back.
Oh, look at that cut.
But Deng's head went way back.
Of course, Del Campo is he's not new to physical play.
No. But you know, Deng, such an important player for Senegal. Del Campo, such an important for Philippines. But Deng, well, the doctor must be happy with him because he's leaving him on his own. I'd be making sure the medical people are...
He's out of the game.
Yeah, he's sitting down. He's sitting down right on the end, right up this end of the bench. And the doctor's down the other end of the bench. You know, I'd have thought he's sitting next to the coaching staff looking to come back. That's, you know, he's
for a substitution.
Automatic reaction. I want to get back, and I'd want to do those little tests.
Foul by Hamadine Dai, holding on to Andre Blatch. Now there's going to be an Asian competition in September as we see substitutions, and let's see, Yang doesn't get up yet. No, he goes back to the bench now. We see, he's back in. We see Ibrahima Thomas come in for Senegal. There's a competition, and you either have to be native, or if you were naturalized, you have to be naturalized 3 years before. So now they have to appeal to try to get Blatch to play. Of course, they want him to play. He wants to play. It starts in September, on September 19th. Here comes Blatch. No good.
Well, Deng seems to be okay with a defensive rebound on that missed shot from Blatch, but
Blatch is 1 for 5.
He's had to settle for jump shots as well. He had the one little move to the hoop, which was blocked.
And now he twisted an ankle, his left ankle. And Fajardo gets a rebound.
Well, that's the beauty of having them both, as Blatch is really skipping down the floor, trying to keep weight off that ankle.
And there goes Norwood, same side. He loves the left side of the court, and he's absolutely in rhythm today. I'd feed that young man.
Blatch is definitely struggling with the angle. I think they're going to decide that if he doesn't ask to come out, they're going to take that line of let him see if he can walk it off.
Oh, what turnaround by Thomas.
Nice move.
I'm not sure he had that move thought out. He knew he couldn't go further with Fajardo blocking him to his right.
It's not, I don't think that's in his locker. I think he just found that one. But to be fair to him, his presence of mind, thought about it.
Blatch inside, tipped over by Deng. And a foul by Norwood. Let's see if there's any substitution. Nope. Jap Reyes says stay in there.
There's not a debate going on about him coming out, but Blatch then, mimic the action of shooting the ball. If there's a criticism of him from yesterday, it's not a bad criticism in many ways, but he overpassed at times. That's tough to say when someone's averaging 20 plus a game.
There's the twist.
Yeah, but he yesterday, like he did then, passed up an open look for himself, looking for a better shot for a teammate, and he's not a great passer.
Especially towards the end of the game. Joe, outside of Yang, nice fake, inside, and a foul at the end of the possession, but that was going to be a slam dunk. Yeah, that's a good foul. Definitely
happened before the buzzer too. Off shot, Coach Reyes is demonstrating to two officials what he thought about the footwork, but
Senegalese fans wanted to see the dunk. That was an NBA foul. That was a proper hard foul.
See, that's the other thing. I'm trying to protect my recommendation of Fajardo playing here. He gives you someone who can make that foul. Now, that might seem just a limited thing, but it's something the Philippines don't have. They have a physical presence when he's on the floor. If he has to waste his 5 fouls and use them, then he's got in the position to do so.
But it's not like, what would the Philippines look like in this tournament without Blatch? Fajardo as the starting center.
Oh, they wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be sitting here saying how much fun they've been to watch, because they need Blatch and him. I think it's just because Blatch is mobile enough to play a little bit perimeter and inside. Fajardo's obviously just going to bang around the ring. Because Blatch can do this.
Double pump and a score off the right side. Hey, you better double pump against Senegal. Ibrahim Thomas guarding him.
And again, he did it from the perimeter, backed his man in. If he has to start and bang around on the inside, I don't think he can go the number of minutes if he just bangs around too much.
2-3 zone. Thomas. Travel. Shifted his pivot foot. Carlos Julio with a sharp eye.
The zone, that's what it's supposed to do. There's no space to attack. You've got help organized. I'd be keen on the Philippines staying with the zone for as long as Senegal don't get going from the perimeter. It's a really good option.
Paul Lee. Dieng guarding Blatch. Takes a shot, 7 seconds to shoot. He was just measuring. He was just getting ready.
Love the relationship he's developed with Coach Reyes. He thanked him then because he told him the possession before, shoot that shot. They're offering it to you. And Blatch just knocked it down.
And I'm wondering with that little gimpy ankle, if I were Dieng, if I would close out a little bit further on that three-pointer.
Well, you definitely ask him to see if he can put it on the floor.
A gamble by Blatch. Launches a 3, it's offline. Rebounded by Alapag.
Fajardo again gave him the better option underneath, the bigger body in the middle, so that Blatch could play mobile.
No good. Norwood with his long arms corrals the rebound. Penetration inside to try to reach Fajardo, but there's Senegal putting their arms along the way.
Again, Paul Lee's he's a shooter and a scorer, isn't he? He's
jump. Well, he can penetrate with a dribble, but then you got to be careful with that pass.
Yeah,
here we go, Lee.
That's his game.
Yes, sir. The Philippines takes the lead. 5:40 to go in the half.
Do what you do. That's the thing. You're at the highest level now. There's no higher level than this. This is the FIBA Basketball World Cup. You can't decide to do bits and pieces that you can sort of do. You do what you're best at here. You bring your game.
Open shot by Dieng. He can't make it.
Nice little period here for the Philippines since they've gone to that zone. And Senegal got very, very passive against it.
Inside, Fajardo. Oh, he could drive all the way, but he passes up to Lee. He's feeling it.
And Chuck Reyes again thanks Fajardo straight away. Yeah, he could have gone up, I agree with you. Possibly should have gone up. But he decided the man in the corner's just made one. I'm going to give it back to him.
A chance to go home with a win for Senegal. 3rd place at stake. Philippines up by 5.
gotta hope that Coach Sarr is saying, guys, attack this zone. We're very passive. We're standing. We get into gaps, but then we're not aggressive when we catch it in the gap because they're letting them catch it in certain areas. Everybody's just sucked in the middle of the life out of the zone. And the middle is very full of Filipino shirts, and there's no options as we see Lee make the first of the 3 in transition shot. Again, in transition, they've gone inside early. He spots up. Poor rotation from Senegal. Lee goes back-to-back threes. But it's down the other end. Senegal haven't gone to the inside, haven't attacked the basket, haven't broken them down on penetration. It's always in front of that zone. And Fajardo gives them a little bit of a different option because he can take the middle, and Blatch down low is a much more daunting prospect in terms of trying to shoot from the block than some of the other guys on this Philippines team when Blatch has to take the middle when Fajardo isn't in the game.
You saw the pass that Fajardo threw to Dallison for the 3. That's the next step for this team. Passing at this level needs to be so crisp and so perfect that the shooter, which will have very little time to shoot, has to catch it in an area that's comfortable.
Yeah,
you're going to quickly take it up. At this level, the margin for error, even the pass, which produced a basket, could have been better.
Fajardo with a steal again. The quality and the precision of the pass is not there.
Alabag strikes again. 5 in the second half against Argentina. And off the timeout, they keep at it.
Oh, it's great action defensively. And again, now because Senegal are trying to do things that they're not good at. You know, they're trying to run half-court stuff where we run a bit of complicated action away from the ball. Just get it down there, stay in transition, get to the offensive ball hard and just shoot it, get inside this zone. Be aggressive against the zone. You can't stand there and let all 5 guys see the ball. It's in front of the zone is functional.
Jimmy Alapak, 3-time member of the PBA Mythical First Team in 2003, 2004 and 5, and then 2010 and 11. So quite a gap between years. Oh, blocked by Dieng. Back in the hands of Lee. Bounce pass, fake, and a foul by Joe.
Well, fortunately, Paul Lee stayed with the play because it was off the dribble. That's just asking for the block in that scenario. But Fajardo again, you know, with Blatch on the perimeter, playing a little bit more forward. Fajardo gives him a little bit more of an inside presence. And he was just strong enough to hang on, try and create a bit of space. First free throws for the Philippines, I think. Yep, first trip to the line in 16 minutes of basketball.
Yep, he played for the University of Cebu and became the top overall pick in the 2002 PBA draft, joining the Petron Blaze Boosters, and that team became the San Mig Beermen, and he's played it for 2 seasons. This year, he averaged a double-double, PBA MVP in 2014, a member of the PBA Mythical First Team, all-defensive team, most improved player, you name it. They ran out of trophies to give this young man.
Oh, they probably had to pay him in kind by the sponsor.
The zone keeps up.
They're just going to offer this shot.
Maurice Honduras on the game.
For the first time, they get it baseline and turn them.
And so's Papabaji. Dalmeida, no good. Guess who gets the rebound? Nor with a fake. Dribble drives. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
He traveled.
Did he? I don't know. It looked like a travel, but I'm not sure he did.
I think he jumped off his left foot.
Let's have a look.
Jumped off the left.
One. Yeah. Got a little... Well, no, I'm not sure still. Still just looked like a 2-step to me.
She's not in agreement.
No,
Neither is
nor is he. They just moved. The Philippines fans have moved to a different corner today. They're now on the far side from us.
Well, they're on the bench, near the Filipino bench. Dieng had a shot. Drives in, outside the jump.
They have literally dried up.
No good. Fajardo with a rebound, and the foul is, I believe, on Senegal, on Ndoye.
Well, the extra rebound, it helps a lot. It's a 9-point lead. A chance with is it free throws? No, one free throws to do it.
That's the first foul on Mamadou Ndoye. Mamadou Ndoye, the 3rd point guard, having to play today because of the injury to Tierno Niang. His left knee twisted. We feared worse, but luckily for him and all of us, it wasn't a serious injury. Fajardo misses. And Endure grabs the rebound. Uh-oh, passing is a problem. Watch out! No, he ran out of gas.
Ran out of gas, got a bit worried.
Here comes a little step here, a little cha-cha by Pape Badji.
Yeah, Fajardo's body got in the way.
So the Kraken claimed the victim.
I don't
Let's see what
understand.
happened here.
I think he lost the ball on the way out, didn't he? I don't understand the Black sitting down 3 minutes before the half, and this is going to come straight back.
Unless that ankle hurts.
Well, he walked out pretty comfortably.
De Ocampos back in. Pressure from the Senegal.
Good side. Senegal struggling offensively. Change up the defense. Do something different.
Bounce.
Oh,
And a lay-in. He could have dunked it.
can he?
He could have. You know, I would against Senegal.
Yeah. I think there's always, as we've said when we've had them, you've got to take it through them.
Endure, open three, offline, and they just can't rebound. The zone is not only making passing difficult, it's even making rebounding difficult. There's a foul way before the basket. Again, it's on Mamadou Endure. That's his second. Time to huddle up and concentrate. Look who's talking. It's the young Gorgui Dieng.
See, the thing here with Senegal is because they're not attacking those gaps, even if they go inside, they just kick it out and skip past that early. It's always in front of the defense. The defense can see everything. There's nothing that makes the defense turn in on itself. There's no post-up action. There's no overloading it. You know, they're just not attacking a gap, trying to overload one side, then reverse it, look inside on the ball reversal. Or more importantly, they've stopped running any form of transition basketball. Stop that zone setting up by shooting the ball early, get into transition.
Jimmy played his entire career with talk and text. That's quite unusual in any league, any country. A lifer.
10 seconds to go on the possession, and the ball is only just getting below the foul line.
Yang, nice fake. Looks for the backboard, no good.
Jump shot again, even though it was inside, still a jump shot.
Endure goes offline. They try an up and under, no room. 2 minutes to go.
Got to keep the ball moving now. They pushed it early. They don't. This isn't their tight now. Unless they make a deep three, the defense has them.
The ball's kicked by Endure. And now it's a 14-second possession for the Philippines. They have a 13-point lead.
See, if Paul Lee was in the opposite corner when that, instead of dribbling the ball, he'd have been desperate for the ball to come out of that penetration, reversed him, so he has the shot.
Oh no, Fajardo, no good. He had 14 seconds. I'm not sure he was aware of that.
A lot of time to shoot that
I'm not sure he was aware that the clock had reset. Inside, Badji, turn around, jump shot, it's good.
3 passes below the foul line, there's a little seam in the zone, they attack it.
Little cut.
Yeah. Better ball movement.
Alapak, oh, and again, Fajardo by the bucket. With a couple Senegalese draped around him.
This is bonus time for Coach Reyes here because he's getting minutes of Black. Even though I question why he was out, he's not missing a beat with Blatch on the bench.
Endure misses, rebound by Fajardo, his 5th. He's got 5 points.
Senegal just keep doing the same things far too often that aren't working.
Yang now switches onto Alapag, which is exactly what the Philippines wants. 10 seconds to shoot, 1 minute to go. De Ocampo, one-handed set shot, no good, rebounded by Yang, and he's fouled by Alapag.
They got 2 fouls to give, so I'm still not sure he needed to foul him, but
he just wanted more time to walk over to the offensive side. Here we go. El Granada, Gary David, making an appearance. He hasn't made many.
No, he's
a veteran. And Paul Lee sits down.
Coach Reyes is going to take the timeout. I think, both of them have 1 timeout left. We'll just check who's been charged with the timeout. Senegal, though, you know, it's a Philippine timeout. And Senegal, they had that one offense where the ball got below the foul line, they cut into a gap, went inside, they get a little chop from 4 feet. They're tough to guard that deep. next time down the floor, 2 passes, they launch a 3. That's more like the team that played against Greece and Argentina than the team that came out with the 2 big wins. And I don't understand that. Momentum, consistency in tournaments is important. Whoever they play in the second round, Senegal, it's going to be an immense opponent. They can't go in after 2 poor performances.
Well, you understand because you've done these tournaments. Sheikh Sarr took over in 2009. The last appearance by Senegal in the World was 2006. I mean, there's been an institutional memory that's been erased. And they're starting anew, as we see Fajardo do what he does best.
And they've got this reputation of blowing a bit hot and cold, like they did in Afro-Basket. Massive loss to the Ivory Coast. Then they come out and beat Nigeria. Then they lose to Egypt in a game they're expected to win. And then after losing by 30-plus points against the Ivory Coast in the group, they win a 1-point game. All right, on a 4-point play at the end, but
still,
it's like, you know, which Senegalese team shows up. And if they really want to make progress, they've got to find some consistency in tournaments, and they've got to build momentum as the tournament develops, which I thought, after those 2 big wins, they were in a great position.
They were in position to perhaps end up at the top of the heap for a moment there.
You'd have expected them to challenge Argentina. I wouldn't have expected them to win, but they didn't challenge Argentina yesterday.
Coach Sarr saying that the players, as soon as they heard the Philippines had lost, they knew they were in, and they sort of lowered their guard. So we have another tough fall. Fouls on Tenorio. Going slow to get up.
You cover a lot of sports, and teams build momentum and get confident, and they get into a rhythm. It doesn't matter which sport it is, they're in a good place as a group. And I thought this team looked like they were enjoying themselves, that they were playing a style, and they've gone flat.
Bad pass by Gang.
And it's hard for a young man like Gang, week in, week out, game in, game out, day in, day out, to carry a team like he was.
You're not a doctor, I'm not going to ask you to be one, but he hasn't done much since that bang in the head with Yocampo.
Yeah.
Here comes Yocampo again. Inside to David. There's Fajardo hustling. And that is the end of the half. The Philippines will go to the dressing room with a 13-point lead over Senegal. And Gorgui Dieng is frustrated right now with only 4 points and 3 rebounds.
Well, they've just had a 5-point second period. That's poor.
Unable to decipher the zone. Here we go, Andre Blatch. As we look at Senegal's, obviously the 3-point shooting, whatever you get.